So today, y'all already see what I got in my hand. It's about to get real in the field, family. So I have on the other side um a person that actually, used to be a follower of Voodoo Diva and a client of Voodoo Diva. So before we get in, you know, can you kind of like say your relationship that was to Voodoo Diva?
Hey everyone. My relationship with Voodoo Diva, um, I want to say it was like a sisterhood at one point because she always used to call in and check on me and ask these questions and stuff because I was like such a big supporter of her. So I want to say I want to think like we were cool at one point.
Okay, so on the screen you guys see it says old VFF member. So can you kind of break down like what that means?
Okay, well she has a group. It's called the Voodoo Final Frontier. And I just put old VFF member because like those are the abbreviations when she like introduces herself in the group, or like if you're in the group you'll see VFF. So that's basically what it is.
Okay. How long were you a part of that?
Mm, I want to say I want to say a good 2 years.
Oh, okay. So 2 years.
Yeah, a good 2 years, maybe a little longer until like all the crazy stuff happened. But yeah, I was part of the group for a good minute.
Okay. That's interesting because it's Voodoo Final Frontier, but
Hmm.
now her stuff, she says Indigenous um Voodoo University.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so you know, it's a name change. It was odd. It came after my thing when I had the Indigenous Temple.
That's crazy too.
So before that, it was Voodoo Final Frontier.
Mm-hmm.
Then when King Brujo comes out with Temple of Indigenous Spiritualism, now it's Voodoo Indigenous University. That's interesting.
Mm,
So okay, so basically you knew Voodoo Diva, and so you would consider her like a mentor.
basically, I would.
Okay. And so with this relationship, with this mentorship, kind of where did things start to go, astray as far as, this situation. Now, before we get into that, family, I have her on here anonymous because you will see why as we get into the receipts and the gist of the story. But we got to protect our witnesses. We got to protect our people, things like that, because people out here wilding, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's just like when y'all be watching Gangland and shit. People be having to go on the black screen and tell their story, because if not, then these same people could try to come after these people even more than they have already, and it's crazy. So basically, sister, can you kind of explain like where the relationship started to go a little sour?
Okay, so basically everything was fine in the beginning. Like I'm thinking I'm learning stuff on the voodoo side because of what made me really connect with her was she gave me a spiritual reading one time and she named like one of the Mawa who follows me, and it made me believe her because like when I seen a picture of her, I dreamt of this Lawa as a child, and I did not know who she was. Like I was a kid, and I didn't know who she was until like my mid 20s, and I still remember that dream to this day. But what really went sour was when I want to say she introduced me to somebody, and we had started a little bond and a connection, or whatever. Now, with this person started telling me things about her that I didn't want to believe. Now, like I'm just saying, like I was a number one supporter. This person like was telling me stuff like on the bad side of like other people who was telling this person. things about her, and I didn't believe it at first until like things went downhill when I kind of like stopped being so involved in the group and like contacting her about little things and stuff like that. So amongst this whole thing going on, I'm still like defending her, like, well, she never did anything bad to me, and blah 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 blah. I don't believe that, blah blah blah. Well, then one day, like things started changing for me concerning like being a participant in the group. Like my oh, it's kind of hard to explain. Like it went from like good to bad.
So like this person that was telling you things about stuff that was going on with her, like what kind of stuff was he saying? Was he kind of like talking about like people that had bad work done? Like
What kind of things was it?
Well, this was like one thing I know for sure. Like it was like an admin in her group at one point in time, and this person got really close to the admin, but now the admin don't fuck with her at all. And like basically, this person was getting information about her from the admin, and I guess this person started to believe a lot of the stuff that was going on. So even before that admin, it was a person that she I don't know, like she's really close with, but this person made a statement that she said she practices voodoo also, but she would never practice with Voodoo Diva. So it was like just crazy. Like I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. I was like not trying to get into like no negativity, but like when shit started hitting the fan with me, I'm like, hold the fuck up. I didn't know where it was coming from.
so kind of what was that like? So you started kind of falling back, you started seeing things, you started kind of falling back from the group and participating. And what did you start to notice that was hitting the fan with you?
Okay. Well, she used to have these little service things like she'll ask you to pay to participate in these like she'll do like this little service on your behalf.
Okay.
So I'm paid for like quite a bit of services or whatever. I'll see like little results, but not big time results.
Right.
But after a while it was like shit, I'm paying my money and I ain't seeing shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, am I wasting my money? And then also with this person that she introduced me to, they were in like a little situation where they straight up told me they was like, I believe like she threw like a little love root on me. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, he never looked at her in that way until one time, like it was stuff he wanted to do for her.
Mm.
And he was like, why am I dreaming of her? Why do I gotta get her this, I gotta get her that. But then in the midst of that whole situation, I'm not gonna name this person, but let's just say this: like this person had a whole situation going on besides me before we got introduced, and that like what he had going on, it took a wrong turn. Like his whole world just went into shambles. So he was telling me like when she introduced us, I wasn't looking to meet him, and he wasn't looking to meet me. And he was like, he thought she was on some sneaky shit, like like he caught up to what the fuck she had going on with him, and that she was trying to like just be like, you know what? I think he know what's going on. Let me introduce them to redeem myself.
Okay.
So he didn't trust me at all.
Okay.
Okay, I see. Like basically she put something on him, and then
Uh-huh.
when she felt like he kind of peeped what was happening.
So
Mhm.
So to clean up her tracks, she like, well, I introduce you to this person.
and
Yeah.
That it makes her look like, okay, it wasn't nothing. I see what you said.
Mhm. Yeah. So that's what basically happened. But like on my behalf, I think after like we got introduced, I started like we from the first day when she put us like in this little chat or whatever, I was like, I'm not gonna talk to this man. Like I was like, I'm saying hey and bye. But we ended up clicking like from the first conversation.
Mm.
And 2 years later we still tight. You know what I'm saying? But I would like write her sometimes and be like, thank you for introducing me to this person. I don't know what it is, the vibe is just blah 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 and all this and all that. And she was like basically saying, oh, I'm so happy and blah 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 blah. Then things started going left.
That's an interesting thing because, okay, it's an interesting thing because number one, like that situation, like with her husband, it looks kind of weird anyway, because like he do weird stuff, like he's just a weird dude. So I don't know what.
What they got
I
for?
don't want to get into that. Cause I mean, I'm cool with dude. He
Right.
seems cool, but I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I used to look and I be like, kind of zesty, ain't he? But I'm just,
That's what I'm saying. It's weird
Yeah.
stuff going on, family.
Yeah, I'm like,
So,
hold up.
We'll just leave it there. It's weird stuff going on. But for her to know that old boy she introduced you to had a situation,
Mhm.
that was weird because that's how he could feel like, you know, she put a root on me or something.
like she
Because he never looked at her in that way.
Right. And like he had somebody. So this is how he could feel that way, which is strange that she would even attempt to hook people up and she knows that he had a situation. That is, you know what I'm saying? But go on about how it started to affect you, like what started happening in your life.
oh, a number of things. My finances turned all the way around. I was
good way or a positive way?
negative way,
Mm.
and it was just like so much stuff. Like I felt like I was losing friends, and then like the bond between me and him went all the way sour. And
Oh,
I was like, what the fuck is going on? And this is like one thing that stood out to me, I couldn't pinpoint, but my ancestors showed me. I ended up having a dream one time.
mm.
And my grandma, she's been deceased since '96. Like, I had my ancestor altar up. I do what I got to do. But she never ever came to me until one night. I had this dream, and it was like another woman I know that practices. She was in that dream, and she was giving me a reading, like connecting me with my grandma, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So in the midst of this dream, I'm talking to my grandma, and then all of a sudden, like I told you, like it seemed like the Green Reaper experience
Right.
just came inside. Like he came out of nowhere, and the lady who practices, she was like, "I gotta go." Like everybody, it was crazy because the whole dream was like it's like I was like in a dorm in a college or something. So the lady, like I saw her prepare the whole reading and shit, and like I'm just talking to her. I'm like talking to my grandma, and then like she was like, this thing just came out of nowhere. She was like, I gotta go. She just disappeared. So everybody's running. So I started running in the dream. I ended up running into this lady's room, the same lady who was giving me a reading.
Mm.
I ran into the room, and there was like this black comforter on the floor next to her bed. I laid on that comforter, and this like big black dude, he just put me in the mind of Bone Thugs and Harmony, Crossroads.
Mm.
Like he had the black suit and all that. He came and he like was trying to grab me, but it's like I said, my grandma, she was in that dream. It's like she covered me, and like he could feel like my presence there, but he couldn't see me. But like he kept reaching and reaching,
Mm.
and next thing I know was like a big glop of money like on top of my head, like near my head. He grabbed that and he just walked away. Like she paid him for him to walk. Like don't touch this one.
Mm.
So I never could explain that dream. I didn't know what the hell that dream meant. I
Right.
was like, what the hell? Like, I was covered by a purple shield, and I know my grandma's favorite color was purple.
Right.
But I never could put together what the hell that dream meant until I ended up getting a reading by a woman.
Oh, so you ended up getting a like a actual waking reading with a person.
Yeah. Yeah, with a person.
So
So what was that like?
It she pinpointed everything. When I got that reading, she was like, your ancestors were there to protect you.
Mhm.
And she was like, she told me, just exactly what she told me. She said, there is a woman who is jealous of you.
Mhm.
And she's mad at the fact that you don't follow she's like, I'm gonna just say this. She's like a Christian reader, but when she told me this shit, I believe it.
But the Christian readers are strong. I mean, they come from
Yeah.
It's legit.
Yeah.
The
She
strongest
was like, it's a woman that got mad because you're not following the group no more. She's jealous of you. I don't know why, but she described her from head to toe. She said she has locks in her head.
Damn.
She's fair skinned. Like, she described her from head to toe, and I was like, what the fuck? And I said, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Wow.
And that's not all of it was over with, man. And I was like, I've never done anything to this moment for her to have been like she said, like this woman's trying to fuck you up.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is and the crazy part is, family, I actually did a reading for this sister.
Mm-hmm.
So let me pull up the receipt. So this was back in October 2021, October 24th. So she hit me up and she told me, she said, what can I do to get something off of me? All right. So mind you, I didn't know anything about the situation. She just contacted me. She followed me on Facebook for a while.
And you know,
So I said, it depends on what was done and the strength of it. I handle a lot of those type of cases where someone has work done on them. And she tells me I have probably been hexed by my old mambo, and I clearly don't understand why. Got a reading from a lady I caught on live. She described her from head to toe, and I know she doesn't even know her, but she told me, my health has been bad lately. Doctors don't see anything wrong. So this same story that she's telling you, she told me this story when she contacted me to get a reading. And I said, with undoing hexes, I would have to do a reading to see the energies moving and the damage they've already done, then do the breaking and sending back of it. The reading is also to know how to clean up the spiritual mess created by the hex. So that's what I replied with. So as you see, she came to me about that situation as well. Now, family, this is the thing y'all got to realize. Now, when I gave her the reading, the shit came up in the reading as well.
Yep.
You see? So, and notice what she said. She said my old mambo. She didn't even put Voodoo Diva's name in it to me at that time. I didn't even know that she was speaking of Voodoo Diva until like a week ago, because, you know, another third party that was having issues with Voodoo Diva linked us up and said, look, this is what it is. I know a person that went through this with her, and, you know, she could come and speak about it to get the message out to the community that stuff like this is happening. Okay. Y'all don't know that since all of this has hit the fan with Voodoo Diva, so many of her clients have come out to me. A lot of her clients also became my clients way before any of this came out. And they've been speaking out about it ever since. Like, for this sister to talk about jealousy, I literally just had a reading earlier in the week where somebody told me that a similar thing happened to them, where Voodoo Diva became jealous of them, and weird stuff started happening.
Okay, so
Yeah, weird stuff happening, and on top of that, I'm gonna put this out there. I'm not the type of person like to just go berserk crazy, but whatever the hell she was doing, I'm not gonna lie to you, family. I got to a point where I wanted to commit suicide
Mm.
because I felt like my life was over. I didn't know what was going on. Okay, I'm gonna give you like an example of one day. I'm at work. I'm bawling out. Like I'm really bawling. Like I'm like, I don't know what's going on with me. I feel crazy. I'm bawling. I'm crying. Then I end up talking to somebody who comforted me. And all of a sudden, I just started laughing like everything was good. And I was like, what the fuck? I noticed something was wrong. I'm like, I was just crying. Now all of a sudden, I'm laughing like everything is good. It's like I was fighting myself. I was fighting my own spirit.
Mm.
And I just had to put that out there because I went through that literally.
And it's crazy because when the sister came to me, all of this stuff was in the reading.
Like literally.
Yeah.
Breaking it down, said, look, when this comes up like this, it usually means this happened. And I talked her through things that, you know, we can do to kind of alleviate these things and stuff like that. And it's just crazy, you know, that this stuff is existing. Another thing that also happens, family, is some practitioners will even do negative things to their clients for the client to have to come back to them,
Oh yeah.
you know, to have to pay for more work.
So
I'm
that's
not gonna lie,
another.
that crossed my mind a couple times because
Mhm.
I was like, maybe it was spirit talking to me. I wanted to believe her, but like amongst everything happening, I want to say it was like my ancestors or something was guiding me. And was like, is she legit? Is she real? Or is she like one of those types that like you'll see a little bit and then like you'll be like, oh shit, something fumbled. Now I gotta pay her again for something else. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And
So
they do this like a bad mechanic. Like some mechanics, they'll go to fix your car and
And they'll
yep.
fix the knob on another part.
cause they
It's like
know
going to the hospital with no insurance.
right.
Yeah.
Something might happen, then you gotta come back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Voodoo Diva also blocked you on social media at one point, right?
She blocked me recently on my other page, which I started from.
That's really strange because why would you block somebody if you don't have a problem? This woman have not come out to talk about Voodoo Diva in this time, and she haven't said nothing negative for her to get blocked. So where's all of this energy coming from where now this woman feel like things are happening negative in her life and then she get blocked by the person that was supposed to be her mentor? This family is why y'all be saying, oh, King Brujo be on people like this and that. This is why, because it's a lot of bullshit that be happening in the community. And, you know, I can't just be people coming to me to get stuff out because it's happening to them. And I'm also doing work for these people and helping them through the same shit that's the stuff is happening. So what am I going to do? Be silent? So y'all got to understand when y'all see me coming out with that energy is needed, motherfucker. Like we need that type of energy sometimes because who else going to come help and protect people
When
it's happening? So y'all can do, you know, make me the bad guy all you want, but this is the fact of the matter is people that's acting like, oh, I'm so loving light and this and that, and they're not. They doing wicked stuff behind the closed doors. They trying to point fingers at other people and do what they have to do, lie, cheat, and steal. And that's the reality. You know, it's a sad story, but this is where we at. You know, so sister, like for people that, you know, are still kind of following or might be a part, what kind of advice would you give to somebody that might be following Voodoo Diva or getting work from them, like for them to protect themselves or be aware so
that they don't
Okay.
end up with work on them or something?
I'm gonna just say this. If you're guided into spirituality, be careful and be mindful. If your gut feeling says something to you, listen to it. Do not ignore it. Don't go telling it. Okay, if you're dealing with a specific individual and something just pops up in your gut, like no, don't do it. But then you start to question yourself because everybody's trying to learn here. I feel like it's your me personally, I feel like it was my ancestors telling me, "Hey, watch out."
Mm.
I did not watch out. I ignored that, and then shit started going left for me.
Mm.
All I can say is listen to your gut feeling, because your gut feeling is the truth at all points of time. And I know plenty of people had that type of experience where they felt like their gut was telling them something, but they went through with it and shit went sour. Listen to that. That's all I got to say.
And another thing, family, I gotta keep reiterating, y'all need to foolproof these people. Like, you need to see reviews. You need to see people talking about positive stuff. If you go on Voodoo Diva's page, you don't see no reviews. You don't see anybody.
Yeah, I don't see nothing. Don't got no testimonials, nothing.
There's no testimonies. It's just her dude talking about Gombois. I go to Haiti and we get Gombois and they move the spirit through me.
That don't, brother. We need to
See,
you know.
It's another thing. Like with me, I know for a fact, like I've been trying to learn shit through other people who are more experienced and knowledge, like have more knowledge and shit. But with me, I know for a fact, like I'm connected in some sort of way, because when I talk to like people with higher, what am I looking for? Like with more of a fan base,
Mhm.
they tend to like connect with me more, and I'm looking like, damn, are you like trying to suck up my energy? Like, I don't know, but at the same time, I'm like, ugh. It was just like a weird experience with her. And there's like another person I started following. Now, I'm not gonna call out this person, but this person I had a conversation with about the same thing I'm having a conversation with about you,
Mhm.
with you about. And this person has a high profile, and this person always was like checking on me, wanting me to come work with, you know what I'm saying? Do this and do that. And I'm like, after her, I'm like questioning that person. You know what I'm saying?
And that's it.
And then it's so crazy because this same person told me that she learned everything from them.
Mm.
That's so crazy. Like they told me the whole story. Like she went off and did her own thing, but she personally contacted me and said, I learned everything from you, even though they don't practice the same spiritual practices. So it was like, damn.
Family. And
this is why I gotta be Big Bad Wolf all the time, because this shit be happening in the community. I mean, but listen, family, y'all stay safe out there. Be aware when you following these people, okay? Because you need to start vetting people better.
There's some vampires out here.
Yeah.
Start vampiric.
Yeah.
Start looking at the testimonies, what people are saying about them. Start looking at who they're actually connected to, that have authenticity to them. Like, start being more thorough in your investigations, because it's weird. Like, the spiritual and the conscious community are so smart, but they don't research shit. Start looking into people, man. For real.
Don't stop going off of
words and just go start looking into people. Seriously.
For real.
So that's my advice for today. Queen, I really appreciate you for coming on here.
And I'm so happy that I was able to talk to, our mutual friend, and they were able to put out the word to you. I'm very grateful, because like I had been looking at you, but then like they stamped your name, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Fuck that. And I was like, okay, I really need to start fucking with you.
Right.
And then, like after like all this spirit moved that day when we talked three-way.
Right.
It was so crazy because I was like, I feel like some shit just still
Right.
I just felt that way. And like the moment that came in my head, he contacted me. And I was like, damn, this ain't nothing but spirit.
Right. That's
yes. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy. And family, you know, that's what it is. Like, I can't tell y'all who to follow out here because there's so many people that come up, but just be aware, man, and be, because people getting hexed by the practitioners, all kinds
Kind
of
of weird. Bad mechanics.
it's weird, yo. Like, and that's why I be like, I deal with clients the way I deal. Like, I'm even like, if you don't need the work, I don't give the work. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, right? But it's people out here, man, they hurting. They got to take people's ideas to keep relevant. It's weird. Like, so know that's going on.
That's
Yep.
going on.
But with that said, family, we're going to get out of here. Peace and blessings to y'all. And stay safe, y'all. All right, bye-bye.
Ahí, babo.